Guys, and welcome back to one of my Doctor Who Big Finish reviews. In this review we're going to be taking a look at Phobos, which is the next story in the series featuring Paul McGann and Sheridan Smith. My previous review was of course of Immortal Beloved, which as some of you may know, I didn't enjoy it all that much. I thought it was very boring and a bit it didn't really go anywhere, but now we move on to Phobos, and this is written by Eddie Robson, who wrote the finale for this series, I believe. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the cover design. As you can see, it's very blue and it looks quite nice. You've got sort of like a massive claw, and you've also got a skier, or snowboarder actually, strictly speaking. So if we take a look at the cast, you've got Timothy West, Nerys Hughes, and Ben Silverstone. And so we've got the spine. It's nice and blue, as you can see. It's the 5th CD in the series. You've got Phobos, written by Eddie Robson, directed by Barnaby Edwards, and the blurb, which I shall read to you now. The TARDIS lands on Phobos, moon of Mars, where extreme sports nuts of the future indulge in their passion for gravity boarding and wormhole jumping. But there's something lurking in the shadows, something infinitely old and infinitely dangerous. It's not for nothing that Phobos is the ancient word for fear. So yes, it's quite intriguing. So yes, there's the cast list again, with a few more characters and actors and other parts as well. Inside, we've got the booklet again, and you've got the disc. Behind the disc is just a picture of Paul McGann and some production credits and whatnot. So now for my thoughts and opinions on Phobos. I believe the story isn't particularly highly thought of in the fandom and the fan base or whatever. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it that much. To be honest, I can see why. It's I can see it being one of those stories that people will forget about once they've sort of listened to it, and I mean, I'm not in a hurry to go back and listen to it, if I'm honest. It's a bit, I wouldn't say it was terrible by any means, but it's just really meh. Like, I don't like. Basically, the plot is that there's the Doctor and Lucie arrive on a sports leisure centre, where there's as you can see on the description, there's gravity boarding and wormhole jumping and stuff like that. And then there's a murder happens, and there are these robots which are trying to guard this this place on the resort where there's this ancient sort of god. And when gods were involved, I thought, oh god, it's going to be another Immortal Beloved kind of story. But the plot is really quite basic, and it's, like I said, it's not terrible exactly. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot more than Immortal Beloved, because Immortal Beloved was, like I said, it's not terrible, but it's just it was really quite boring in a sense. But Phobos, there were some good moments in it. But I should say before, if you do buy this, prepare to turn down the volume of your headset, or however you listen to this, wherever you listen to it, because instantly there is a scream, quite a loud scream. But I won't go into reasons why, because of spoilers and that. But there's a really loud scream at the beginning, and that's just a heads up. So, like I said, if you do buy this, make sure your volume is turned fairly low, on a low number, because I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. So yeah, Phobos, I mean, there's some good performances. Timothy West gives an interesting performance, quite calculative. But the story just didn't really interest me. This makes me a little bit worried for Human Resources, but I've heard a lot of good things about that story. So I'm really excited about that, as I might have mentioned in my previous video. But yeah, I wouldn't really recommend this one if you're, just wanted to start out anywhere. I mean, it's a fairly standalone story. Of course, we've got the headhunter, who's she's the sort of overarching villain. I've mentioned before that her job is basically to, kill and take out Lucie Miller, pretty much. But she features at the end of this story, and I think she does in the next story. She's in the finale of the series. So yeah, she's right at the end. But I try to, think off the top of my head, because I haven't scripted this or anything. Like most of my reviews, I've only done a couple of videos where I've actually written notes for them. But this review, I just can't think of anything else that is worth mentioning, really. I mean, the main villain, the Phobos, I think they're called. Let's have a look, shall we? Phobos, the sort of godlike villain of the series. Yeah, she's very forgettable. I'd say that was a bit of an understatement, but yeah, like I said, it's nothing special, but I mean, I just got it for completionist sake. It's probably, like I said, it's better than Immortal Beloved, but it's probably the second weakest. Immortal Beloved is definitely the weakest one I've listened to so far. But like I said, it's no means awful, but it's just, I reckon this is just a bit of a filler. But that's my opinion personally. I think there are some people that actually do like the story, and there's nothing wrong with that, because everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So I think for rating, this is quite difficult, because like I said, it's nothing special, but it's not terrible either. I'll probably give it a 4 out of 10, or maybe a 5. I don't know. I think, yeah, let's say 4 out of 10, because it's just a filler, I think, in my personal opinion. So that pretty much concludes it for this review. So thank you very much for watching, and of course my next review will be of No More Lies, and we'll have to see how that plays out. So yes, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you soon.